So, if you were lucky enough to guess what the next movie was in the marathon, then you probably guessed it was the final film in Frank Capra's list. Don't even know what I'm saying right now, but it's 1961's Pocketful of Miracles. It's just a movie that takes place around Christmas, but it seems to be a subtle theme with a lot of these movies that I just recently saw today. But in it, it's a movie about a homeless lady who's working for a mobster, and she decides that she wants to kinda sorta live in the high life. Sort of. I'm trying to recollect a lot of this because this is the first time I'm actually seeing this. But after going through a lot of despair, she wants to live, the high life and actually be with her daughter because that's where she is. And of course, throughout it, she acts as if she is, part of her society, part of her high class act, while of course the gangsters are trying to make sure that she is just protecting herself and she's not getting into too much trouble, and while they're keeping their heads low. Yeah, as you can tell, I really have no idea what to say about this movie. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life. You could easily get behind the idea and premise of it. I mean, even for that matter, you can even, talk about another film I think Frank Capra did. But I could be wrong on that, which was Arsenic and Old Lace. Had James Stewart in it and all those. But then again, I could be wrong on it. But Frank Capra, essentially what he did for this final film was just one of the most wonderful, probably most beautiful looking movies ever, in my opinion. I mean, just the way that the sets and everything are shot in the format that they use, Panavision, and just overall, just the, part of the scenery. I mean, it's just wonderful, and even some of the characters I actually do kind of like. Would I consider it a Christmas film? No, not in many respects. I wouldn't say The Apartment's it's pretty much like The Apartment. It's not a Christmas movie, it just happens to take place around Christmas. So, it's one of those movies that sort of accidentally takes place around Christmas. But where I stand on Pocketful of Miracles, now seeing it for the first time in a long time, since seeing the very, very, very beginning of it, and I do mean a long time, that was surprisingly 10 years ago, believe it or not. Almost 10 years ago, I think, is quite an accomplishment. 10 years just to have me see this one film. But I think it was worth the wait. I think if you're interested in actually seeing, Capra's final film, I'd say it's worth a watch. I don't know if the average movie buff would have any interest in taking a look at it, but if you're curious to see just the overall idea that the movie has for it, I say Trading Places is a bit better of a movie where it has the homeless person living up in the higher riches area. Just my opinion. Though that has nothing to do with Christmas or anything like that. Well, this does accidentally take place. Could think that Trading Places actually does take place. Never mind. I mean, of course, as you can tell, this is a Friday spotlight, and of course, this is the film I'm spotlighting. But of course, what could be the final Friday that I spotlight a movie on, or special, or whatever? Well, stay tuned next week, and you'll find out. As of course, we have just about, surprisingly, 8 more days until Christmas Eve, surprisingly enough. So, keep it here as we talk about more about the 28 days of Christmas. See ya.